figure you guys would.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
Johnny?
Soft spread now?
Yeah. Michael, yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'm going to.
Dorothy, Dottie, your hair is so pretty today. Did you just have it done?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do it. The only thing I get done is the cut and color. but I
Yeah,
haven't
okay,
had it.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, really does it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I know, and I,
No,
tried to-
not yet. We have to have a
Yeah.
quorum or we won't be here. Yeah.
is it warm in here?
So I'm taking it
Yeah.
and I'm gonna call
It is.
Mo.
Actually, to make sure, I'll say it again when everybody else is here, but, make sure the mic is close to you, and make sure you're projecting it.
What about now?
Mine is
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. Closer than this?
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Louder is not bad here.
Huh?
Louder is good.
Oh, okay, louder.
Mar,
Louder you are,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Testing. Oh, yeah.
I know.
What about now? What about now?
To the distance, okay.
well, it's not, it's, yeah, as long as you're projecting it.
Okay.
Hi, Jasmine.
Howdy, how's it going?
How are ya?
Good.
Great. You guys, we saw Rob on Saturday. He sat at our table with Carrie. So he said, boy, Mar, they're really overdoing it at the city hall. I said, really? Are we making a back door and all these things? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fancy. I haven't seen any plans. I don't know.
Yeah.
What they're doing.
Yeah, and all of the recording, whatever you call it, is all being replaced, yeah.
What's it gonna take, all summer?
Yes.
Really?
So when we get back in September, it
Yeah.
should be ready to go.
It should.
It's gonna be in this room?
It should be, but there'll always be directional signage. If they change anything, there'll be directional
Do
signage.
we have to turn off our phones here too?
I'm sure.
Yeah, we used to meet clear down the other end.
We'll
Or
try
we
and-
have.
We'll try and make sure you guys know what room it is.
Oh.
And
I did send a map. I got it, but you got it, okay.
Yeah, I didn't, but,
Oh? Well, it was sent as sent to me, so I don't know what.
yeah, no, but I did too. About a half hour before. I know. Yeah, yeah. I sat there, I thought, I'm not hearing this right. I thought, Jesus, what can we be thought of the world? People must think that you don't have any. Oh. Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna touch it too much. Mike's gonna take it. He's totally.
Friday, yeah. Hang out with the kid at lunch.
Okay, I don't know where that's at.
Okay, the high school.
Well, she has the, I mean, it's not like,
There's a
yeah, I
driveway.
think she used to know. So that's what she wore you.
Oh, what?
You know where the, you know where the church is?
Oh, here he comes.
And you park, there's two buildings there and here. and a building here. Where this
Oh,
one is.
Mr. King.
hello.
You know where, you know where the.
You look good. I mean, you park there. What an idea. Yeah. So then, we're gonna have a subcommittee. You look like you compared to 2 weeks ago. You look like hell. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, we talked to Rob Moon about smoking and I just said, what's your opinion? And he said, well, he said, as many times as I've been down at that street fair, I have never. Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
on Thursdays I'm walking.
Yeah.
Did you open up doors?
Was it?
Hey, I messed up. I thought it was Joy on the subcommittee.
Yeah.
When I sent the email. Anyway, I messed up.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah. Hi. We saved you a seat. You're welcome. We have to be finished by 5 o'clock. They cut off. Yeah.
My computer is still not.
Oh, you're different. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's just gonna touch it.
No, I know which one you're talking about. Is it an item that we have on today?
Not excused him. I didn't say why, but just. I almost think that. I don't know, we just got those.
I am on the committee. We're meeting
Yeah.
tomorrow. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
gonna do some research for us. So how was your day going?
Well, okay.
Yes, that's what I was
Yeah.
Just better than okay?
Yeah, no, pretty good. I looked in here, and there wasn't any water outside in place. And so somebody came by and I said, do you know where there was water? And they said, no. And the one guy said, isn't it in your room? And I said, no.
Right, correct.
Well, I opened the doors and every place I could see, but guess what? I didn't look in that corner. So, yeah, so there's plenty of water. Okay.
That's great. Okay, we'll see you then.
Who's not here? George?
But we have a plan. So,
All right. I think we can start. Are we running, Mr. AV guy?
Okay, we have to do what the AV guy says. I want to welcome all of you to our Village Fest meeting of May 9th. Thank you for finding us at the Convention Center. We're finally getting our conference room at City Hall brought up to the 21st century, and that's why we're here. And I have a funny feeling we may be here for a while, because when they're done with us, they're going to do city council chambers. So anyway, bear with us, and thank you so much for coming. First thing I think we should do is have a roll call. Who here?
Chair Griffin,
I'm here.
Vice Chair Watson,
Here.
Board Member Meredith is currently absent. Board Member King,
Here?
Board Member Manley,
Here.
and Board Member Chibnall.
Present.
Okay, thank you. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is what I'm doing is power these off. I know in our little meeting room at City Hall, it messes up the AV. I don't dare take any chances here at the Convention Center. They have all kinds of high-tech stuff, so turn these off. Just make believe you're on the airplane. We won't throw you out if you don't turn them off. Public comments. This is the opportunity for our guests, those of you who are here, to come and talk to us about anything that's on your mind that relates to Village Fest, and we're really good listeners. Do I have anybody here to make a public comment? Yes, sir.
My name is Jason Nutter. I think I'm on the agenda because I'm applying for.
Okay, then, yeah, we have you, yes.
I had a separate.
Sure.
Kind of thing. In where my storefront is, the neighbors, I'm located where the food court is.
Yes, sir.
The Village Fest at the end, right there across from the Hyatt.
Yeah.
Well, Mars Creations, all the businesses right there have been talking about how they want to ask you guys, and I think it might even be on the agenda to be put out right in front of our stores and continue after the food court, continue more shops, on the street.
Okay.
So they're asking, because right now, like Mars Creations, I don't have a booth, but she goes down the street, but she'd rather just go straight out of her store. And so we're asking, people kind of stop when the food court's done. But what we're asking is if we can continue it there, the people that want to, and have our booths right there.
When you say there, sir, can you define for us what there is?
Right where the food court ends.
At what street?
Across from the Amato.
At Amato? Okay.
That's where the street fair either ends or starts. It's,
Right.
Right there, there's the food court. There's
Correct.
food trucks.
Right.
Well, there's a section, and that's where our stores are. There's about 5 stores there that there's nothing in front of. It's just people kind of wandering in and out, which is still a lot of traffic. But what we're asking is, I'm applying for my first, booth, but I'd rather go straight out my store, and the neighbors, they have a booth already. They want to do it in front of their store so that we kind of create our own little section. We want to make it kind of different and fun. You know what I mean?
Okay, what we'll do, sir, thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
We will bring it to we'll put it on the agenda for our full board to discuss,
Okay.
and also pass it on to Main Street, because there are a lot of logistical things that have to happen, if that is even possible. There's
Sure.
all kinds of logistical things, but that's a very nice idea.
Okay.
And may we get back to you
Sure.
on that? Okay, thank you so much. Is there anybody else who'd like to make a public comment? Okay, board comments.
Not at this time.
Not at this time.
Okay, how about you?
Not at this time.
Okay, wow, this meeting is going to go so fast. Do we have any correspondence?
We have none.
No correspondence, okay. The next item is our consent calendar, and these things can be approved by one motion, or we can pull things off if we want. The first is the posting of the agenda, and the next is the approval of minutes from the last meeting. Do I have a motion to approve the consent?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed, none, it passes. Good. Legislative actions, this is where we get to hear from all of you folks, and we're looking forward to it. Our first vendor application is Wabi Sabi, am I saying that right? And it's Daryl Baum, Arts and Crafts, current vendor, and he wants to add, help me with that word, coming up to the microphone.
So we do bonsais,
Right.
in kanji ware and such, and everything around Japanese kanji and such. So now we're wanting to add to the collection a version of a bonsai. And many people have asked us for bonsais that are indoor plants. And all the bonsais that we have are outdoor plants. And so if you may or may not be familiar with this type of bonsai, but it's evolved over the years. And right now, this type of bonsai, kokedama, that I'll be presenting to you, it's evolved over the years. Right now, it's very popular in Japan. We were just there in March and saw it everywhere. And here it's becoming more and more popular. And koke means moss, dama means ball. So moss ball. And as a form of bonsai, over the years, we know that we've seen like pieces of wood, and there will be a moss ball, a mound of dirt covered by moss, and then the bonsai coming out of it. That's a kokedama. And so now it's evolved into what you see here.
Yeah, we need to see it.
That's So this would, and I'll walk around.
So that's just a miniature palm that you did in a bonsai. You worked on the roots.
Yeah, so we work on the roots, we turn back the roots.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Now, does it come on the dish?
It does come on fish.
Oh, it does. So
Okay.
if I'm buying this.
It's half
Yeah.
go on to something.
Does anybody have any questions for Daryl?
In the watering process, would you water this? Yeah.
Okay, so there's three forms of watering process. The first one is spraying it on the outside to keep the moss growing. The second one is where you water it directly into the center. And the third one is once a month you would give it a bath. And so you have either a bowl that's filled with water and you submerge it. And so we have instructions and I should have brought the instructions. But we have instructions for care for this
Oh,
as well,
okay.
that we give to them. We do that along with the bonsais, so yeah.
Anybody else?
Yes,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I know I was late, but what else do you sell at your booth?
We have the bonsais that are outdoor plants, and
Uh-huh.
these are indoor plants, the kokedamas.
Yeah. So are you, but you're in as arts and crafts and not like as a
Oh, we also
flower?
Farmer's market or
Yeah,
something?
that's what I was wondering, because
We-
this seemed perfect for that, easzy.
Yeah, we also sell kanji ware, which is the
Oh,
Japanese calligraphy on the
I remember
shirts, the shirts and long shirts and such, and also the pendants as well. So it's more of a Japanese theme, arts and
Got it.
craft.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept this additional craft item to Village Fest.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none, I'm going to call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous, it carries.
It's
Great,
lovely.
Thank you.
We just updated our logo as well, so I wanted to bring that today. So this will go onto a banner. The banner will have our email address and our website.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you for coming by and, oh, it's
Will you
cute.
be here all summer?
Yeah, we're gonna do it this summer.
Good, good, good. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, these are yours.
Question, I don't know if I can direct it to Faith or else to the group. It's about another item that we're speaking about.
Why don't you direct it to Faith?
Okay, great. One of them. Okay.
Right. Thank you for coming by. Okay, Music Heals, Jason Nutter. Is Mr. Nutter here? Hi, Mr. Nutter. Jason's back. Jason is a downtown merchant, and he has reversible blocks, pet accessories, and shirts. And come talk to us. What you got?
Okay, well, I'm a teacher during the day. I work with mainly in Banning School District, right out of town here. I want to work with Palm Springs School District. I haven't approached them because I've been so busy, but I just recently moved here. Actually, I've been living here for 2 years because I'm a performer. I perform downtown every Friday. I've had a show for 3 years, but I moved here and I fell in love with the city and everything. But anyways, I work with children of all abilities. I have for 10 years. Music Heals is a nonprofit. We got approved by the state in April of last year. And when you have a nonprofit, you have to be, raise funds for your organization. I was doing concerts, putting on concerts. I put together like full autistic bands and stuff like that. Then I put a show together. We were raising funds that way, but it got too difficult to raise funds. The school districts can afford me, teachers, but they can't afford the instruments a lot of times. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna start a nonprofit to raise funds for instruments for the programs in the schools and outside of the schools. Music Hills opened up downtown, across from the Hyatt, that area, about a month and a half ago, and we're still, sorting things out, but we're gonna be doing music lessons and things like that for people and children of all abilities, all ages. So if you have an autistic child, that child can come, or adult, can come to Music Heals and be taught music and spend time with music and healing and rhythm and stuff like that. On the other side, we thought, well, how during the week we work with adult transition kids that are being that maybe they're autistic or just they have some difficulties getting jobs. That was another thing. So Music Heals during the week. Right now we have 3 students from Coombs Alternative Education in Banning that come to Music Heals and they work for a couple hours a week, and they also learn music. They're involved. They're musicians, so they work there. So people of all abilities work at the shop, obviously with someone like me there, or other employees. But anyway, Villagefest, we were like, we wanted Mrs. Riddle from Banning. It's like, I want to do, Villagefest and with the kids and blah. I said, well, let's do it. So we've gone through the process. The kids they do crafts. They do blocks and bracelets and all this stuff handmade. They do it at the school. So that's the items that we would be selling for Villagefest. There's pictures in the thing there. But also to raise awareness for Music Heals, the shop on the boulevard, and also reach out to the Palm Springs and surrounding school districts to let them know that the programs, because I bring in outside teachers, I bring in rock stars, I bring in guests. In Banning, the kids a lot of them are mentally disturbed. They don't have parents. They're from the boys' home. They're just foster kids. They're not happy. So they take music and they run. Some of them, if you're a natural musician, you run with it. It doesn't matter if you're autistic or normal or average. You feel music the same, So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing. So one more thing. We also will have some of the students working the booth, adult transition, high functioning, will be working the booth, selling their items, if it goes through.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I have a couple questions.
Okay.
And then, you're a teacher
Yes.
in which school district?
Banning School District.
Banning School District. So have you spoken to Palm Springs Unified yet?
I'm not from here. I'm from Beaumont.
Yeah.
But I've lived here for 2 years now,
Yes.
and but I'm basically relocated here.
Okay.
No, I have not.
Okay. My other question is, you mentioned you're a nonprofit. Do you have an IRS 501?
Yes. Yes.
Are you at 501c3?
Yes.
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 I've seen
Okay.
him.
Yeah,
I've
Okay.
met with him before.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And, but you're applying not as a nonprofit vendor, but as an arts and crafts vendor?
The downtown merchant.
As a downtown merchant? Okay, even better.
Yeah.
Perfect, okay, thank you.
I have approached
Huh?
Albertson's parking lot, San Gregorio, is it mental health? The
Right.
building there. I've met with them twice, and we're trying to, they love the program. I would go in there, and I volunteered the first couple times. My mother's a director at San Gregorio Hospital in Banning, so she hooked me up with them over there, and it's when I first moved here, I met with them, and they were like, okay, yes, we got to do this, but there was no funds. So that was before I opened the store. So now that the store is there, those funds that go through that store, that's the first spot I want to do is use some of that money for, because what we do is we load up a van full of these crates full of drums, full of guitars, and we show up in every, like, this would be a class size. So you'd get a bongo, you'd get whatever you want, a bongo, drum, conga, steel drums.
So let me, just so I understand, because I'm confused, help me, work with me here.
Okay.
You have a store,
Yes.
and is it a for-profit store?
No.
It's a nonprofit?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
I'm clear.
It appears from when I met with Jason that what they sell in the store are items that are either made by the students or people donate stuff
Oh, I
there.
see.
And then
Okay, great,
they have a
great.
very eclectic mix. I couldn't begin to try to tell you what is in there. There's like jukeboxes, and there's some clothing, and there's some stuff, and then some other stuff. So people donate it, and then they come to Jason's store. They could purchase it. He has his 501c3 declaration right on the wall there behind the counter. So it seems that to go as a nonprofit, based on our new rules, he would not be able to sell anything.
Right.
See?
That's right, so he would have to go with
So,
arts
but
and
as a
crafts.
downtown merchant, he could and get a
That's a
good
great idea.
price. So
Okay.
that definitely was the better way to go
Sure.
in his situation.
Our goal with the storefront is, I mean, I'm just waiting on a paycheck, really. But we have a whole wall, a whole back, like, room section. It's going to be all musical instruments. So,
Oh, nice.
you know, guitars, guitar strings, tuners, reeds for your stuff. So, because the only closest place, I believe, unless you guys could tell me, is Guitar Center and, you know, Rancho Mirage. To buy anything. You break a string, you're driving to Rancho Mirage, which is okay, but, you know, local. I'm also very involved with the local music scene, booking shows and concerts, and, you know, I've worked in LA for years. I was a booking agent, you know, all this stuff. I've worked with who's who, you know, but
Okay.
this is my passion. The kids learning music, keeping rock and roll alive, obviously. You know what I mean? That's my thing. But also, I'm in love with the adult transition class because these kids are, you know, they'd be great employees. They can focus on one or two things, you know, so it's important for them to, instead of sitting at home every day, because mom's not taking them, they're very poor, you know, so at least they can get to Music Heals, you know.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Two quick
Yeah.
questions. Pet accessories. What, do you purchase those wholesale and then sell them retail, or is making them? And what are the accessories? What,
Music accessories, you mean?
It says
Or-
pet
It says
accessories.
pet
on the
accessories.
app.
Pet accessories. The kids in the adult transition class, and there's pictures, I believe, they have these jars, the old mason jars, I guess it would be. They take dress shirts, which I'm pointing out I didn't wear one today, but you take dress shirts, they cut off the collar, and then you stick them on your dog, and it's like a cute little, like the dog's wearing a collar. It's, you know, so they got this decorated, and then inside is dog treats, and then on top they've got a little bow and a leash wound up, and everyone's different. They're cute, you know, they're cute little things for
and my
animals.
other question is shirts. Are they T-shirts or are they shirts?
T-shirts, yeah.
And they have,
It would mostly be like Music Heals Kids or music for the soul, or, you know.
Okay.
But as downtown merchants too, it allows them to sell anything that would normally be in the store.
Right.
But the question that I have is, it's about the music part of it, because when they situate you at Villagefest, you know, they put all the music in very specific places. So were you only planning on selling at the booth, or were you planning on having any music at the booth?
I would love to have music. I have full-blown autistic kid bands. I have performers. We perform at the Pumpkin Patch in Yucaipa every year. We perform at the Beaumont Winter Fest, the Cherry Festival. I mean, we do the parades, all that stuff, you know. But so performing, not to mention the local population of the musicians that I book for some of the clubs I book downtown, you know. But I'd love to do music. You know, but the problem is that if I was right outside of my store, the booth was right there. The Hyatt has entertainment. They have a singer that could, but that starts at 7, you know.
So could you have a booth without entertainment
Yes.
is one question.
Yes.
And maybe even possibly at some other time, some of the entertainment could be part of the Village Fest entertainment on the bigger stage or something.
That'd be great.
Just because that was the only thing I could really see, to have the booth to sell and then to have a booth where you're going to have music. I mean, obviously, you can't, like, be between two other vendors and
Well-
be having music.
The booth was more, we were thinking of it as more as like the adult transition, where they're going somewhere, we're together as a family, and we're doing something, you know what I mean? And the music is what we do besides that already. So this is just kind of something extra. So, yeah, I would love to take a date or anything like that, and I could fill it with wonderful talent. But, yeah, we really just want to sell the crafts, you know?
Okay.
Would you have like tambourines and stuff, so if someone came up to your table and they picked it up, they could rattle it or do a little drumming or that type of thing?
Like a musical petting zoo.
Yeah, that's a good
It's fun. I have everything. I do have that stuff. Yeah. I could definitely have that, but it can get loud, you know. Drum circle. One idea was, I talked about before you came, I talked to them about all my neighbors want to, well, you know, all the neighbors want to come out, straight out, and create our own little thing. Well, I have 50 drums, you know, we could set up a drum circle at the end of the street, or whatever, you know, or do it for a half hour.
I think what you could do is work with Parks and Rec, because they have a section next to our information with native paintings, and we do activities, so maybe a music night activity.
Yeah.
next to it. So you could work with them.
I could do a music petting zoo, but I think it's, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Any more comments? Somebody want to make a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we accept this downtown merchant as a downtown merchant vendor at Village Fest, and that any musical activities are approved through staff.
I'll second that. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye?
Aye. It's unanimous. It passes.
See you on the street.
Yeah, we'll see you down there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming by. Yeah.
Faith will tell you everything you need to know.
They'll take care of you.
And then some.
All right, thanks, Jason. Eco Cork. Tatiana, am I saying your name right? Welcome to Village Fest. This is an arts and crafts vendor, and she has cork bags, necklaces, phone covers, bracelets, clutch pouch, sunglass case, shaving kit. Oh, thank you.
Sure, and talk right into that microphone. You'll have to bring it in. Oh, it is pretty cool.
What a pretty logo.
Can you send a package down this way? Thanks.
Hello.
You can put it anywhere you want. Do you need some help?
We should have a table.
We should have a table. Yeah. Yeah, I think next time we need to have a table in the middle. Beautiful stuff. Have you ever seen cork wallpaper? It's so beautiful. I do too. It just feels so good. It has that nice buff look to it. It's cool. Yeah. Is it really cool? Yeah. Holy, oh my goodness. I didn't know you could make cork do these.
So, I'm really nervous. This is a completely sustainable, vegan, 100% vegan line. It's made from the bark of an oak tree. They peel the bark off the tree, process this, and then make that cheese.
It's Beautiful.
And I design it and have it shipped over here from Portugal. So I'm the founder and the designer of the company. I'm local and looking to hopefully be here for 3 months in the fall, 3 months in the spring.
Is your home in Portugal?
I go there in the summer to do the designing, and then I come back to sell here. And I live here in the desert. Hmm? Very lightly. So all these products are water resistant, really lightweight. You can scrub them clean. It's a great, very unique product. I've been selling for about three years up and down the coast of California and on the internet.
Okay.
But I'd love to be able to stay home and just be here on Thursdays to bring it to the desert.
Okay. The stuff is very lovely. Does anybody have any questions for our vendor?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How much of this merchandise that you have
Any-
personally made?
Anywhere from $10, everything's under
You know,
200.
how much of it have you made yourself, handmade? Because you state that they're imports,
Yeah,
so you don't make any of this. Right, but you don't make any of it.
no.
Okay.
I'm the designer and the founder, but I don't actually do stitching. I go over there and I design it, have it made, and then bring it over. And there's nobody else doing this at all in Southern California.
Okay. Any other questions?
Well, she said that she had some jewelry.
You had some jewelry you want to show us? It's a piece of cork.
Where they made?
Very long one. Pass that back. It's not. Whoops.
All right. Get the piece of pork and forget that. Yeah.
Yes, we are. I think it's,
Get our best size in this one. Remember reading the book about pork.
Okay, we've seen the jewelry, we've seen the cork products. They're all made in Portugal?
Yes.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we decline this vendor based
Second.
on our 75% rule.
Okay, second?
I will second that.
Let's have a discussion.
Well, it's all beautiful work, I must say, but it doesn't fit our 75% made
By the artist?
by a person.
Right. Let me see if I can try to explain. In our guidelines, we require that the artist or the applicant make the product, or at least 75% handmade. And you don't make the products. You ship the products, you arrange for the products, it's your business. But the artist who makes the product isn't there.
Right.
So we have a conundrum, because they're so gorgeous, they're so beautiful.
Check out the website.
Yeah, they're really beautiful,
Yeah,
and so is the
I
jewelry.
was wondering if that was going to be a problem.
It is.
is for us.
It is for us, unfortunately.
COD is probably.
Right, College of the Desert would, that stuff would fly off the shelf at College of the
Yeah,
Desert.
I don't know if you can get into that. Like, well, I travel on the weekends to
Yeah,
other
yeah,
shows,
sure.
like elsewhere.
Right.
So I don't want to be
I mean, it's a
stuck
beautiful thing,
in one
yeah.
place.
Right, I understand. But unfortunately, I don't think we can do it. So I'm going to take the vote on this. All in favor of declining?
Oh, declining?
Mhm.
Aye.
Opposed? It carries. So unfortunately,
Okay.
we can't,
Sorry,
I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
And if your policies change, let me know.
Oh, don't worry, we will. It's
Before
beautiful
Christmas,
stuff.
that would be awesome.
Yes.
You just sneak it.
And thank you for the card, too.
Is this a phone number? Yeah, okay.
Well, College of the Desert is the one.
First doesn't want to be.
I think they would love to have you. I know.
How about
The other one?
the fair that we have once a month at Camelot?
The fair at once a month at Camelot.
They're once a month.
Is that the Saturday thing?
Or every Saturday too, you could sell. Yeah, Camelot.
Camelot Theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, isn't it?
No.
No, it's just Saturday. Just Saturday.
It's the farmer's
Yeah,
market.
every Saturday from.
The other one's mid-century modern.
Oh, that's right.
But
Okay. Ursula Reich. Is Ursula here? Where's Ursula? Am I saying your last name?
Ursula Wright, yeah.
Well, welcome. It's Bella Fit, Prees, leggings, pants, tops, and tops. Tops and tops. Oh, I'm glad you made it.
it's okay.
Yeah, you submitted one in your application.
Yeah, we have that. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Save it.
I have a question for staff. Do you have a letter of intent?
Yes.
You couldn't find one? I saw your note. They must not have, right.
You have to talk into the microphone, right behind you, yeah.
Yeah, pick it up a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
wonderful.
So, thank you. So my story, I live in Redondo Beach. I've been working with Brazil now for 12 years. I fly down to Rio. Now I'm flying down there twice a year. I have my fabric manufacturer down there, so I personally go and pick out all these light supplex materials down there, and I'll pass them around. I have the texture on. I do really well with the women like the texture. They come in leggings as well in all different colors. So I go down there, and every time they get new fabrics in, when I'm not in Rio, my manufacturer will WhatsApp me, and show me kind of all the new fabrics that are there, but I try to go down there as much as I can, just to pick everything out, and then we order the rolls. The fabric comes to the beach. I have a sewer there named Coco, but I work together with Coco, because I've learned now, I'm always creating and changing things, because as times have gone on now in the years, activewear's become more popular, the prints have become more popular. I was doing this way before, everybody was wearing just black. So I have the white lace, and the reason why I do get the Brazilian fabrics is I've looked everywhere in Los Angeles at the textile industries. They don't make this material here. They don't make the texture, they don't make this. And I also have a heavier jacquard, which is more for winter time, and I can't find that. I went to they said it's like the material from the 80s. So I'll pass around and kind of feel, kind of see how they feel. And then, so that's the digital denim, so it's a digital print. We have animal print, we have, whatever. And they have a really good stretch. They look, everyone thinks that they're really good.
I know.
These stretch up to an 8, but then I'm doing another size also, an 8 to, with an 8, 10 up to a 14. So we're gonna have, that's a nice thing with it, like it's easy to shop for, because you're not just doing.
The audio can't.
Following the Caprice.
They will give them back.
I know. And,
Maybe.
So, and what we're doing now is we are doing like hand-painted, like applique things, sewing things on them. We did one last year with rhinestones, we were, for the holidays, like doing like sewing the rhinestones on them. So I'm trying to be as artsy and crafty as I can in terms of activewear to show that I really am so hands-on, and, I get the fabrics, I'm working with the sewer, I'm putting, with the elastic, we've had issues, so we're putting better elastic in. And it's a pretty easy sew. It's not like we're doing, the gusset and all the zippers, and I can't do all that. So I'm just doing. Yeah. And then in terms of tops, because the trend has been, it used to be the fitted, tight tops and all that. Now the trend has been like the sports bra and then just the loose tops. So this is very easy for me. And I never knew that this would, and it's all ages, like I do ones with sleeves too, for women that want to cover their arm a little bit, but just these little open tops that you wear over, you can wear it over a camisole, over a sports bra, maybe more for the younger girl. And it's just like the acid wash kind of fabric. So it's really good for the desert. I do have a home in La Quinta, so I do sell at a lot of the resorts, at the Madison Club, the Hideaway. I mean, I do a lot of shows there. The women love this stuff. I mean, they love the fabric. Everyone has told me, Ursula, you need to get into the Village Fest. So I'm working right now on doing a lot of the hand sewing, getting things on it. Like we're going to do geckos and, fun deserty things that we can start doing that would appeal to the customer that's out here on vacation, that type of thing.
Do you, the top that you just showed us with the shred, is that
Yeah.
what it said on the thing? Do you make that?
I did not make this one, but I do make, I can, right now we haven't done as many tops. So
Okay.
I'm expanding on the tops. It's very easy to do though. I can even just get a t-shirt, and just shred it. You can just take things off and shred it so it ends up becoming a very customized shred shirt. There's another girl that I know in Manhattan Beach that does that as well.
So you will be making these shredded shirts, that's what I'm,
Yes.
okay,
I'll
okay.
be doing it also with a sleeve, also with long sleeves.
Okay.
It gets cooler, because a lot of women that get, when they're a little older, they would never wear like stuff that's so open. They want to cover their arms a little bit.
Definitely.
And that's a lot of my customer. And,
Sure.
And when it's hot out here in the desert, I try to go for super light fabrics, but you have some coverage. And we're even going to do some where you even kind of do a little bit of a wrap, that's a little looser in the front, so it's kind of forgiving in this section. But my main, the tops are great, but my main thing really are the bottoms. That's what the women love, that they've never felt anything like these fabrics.
It feels real nice.
Yeah.
Where's your sewing room?
In Redondo.
Oh, it is,
In Redondo,
okay.
I work together with
Yeah.
Coco, so she's a better sewer than I am. So I'm learning, but I do it together with her. I sit with her, but I do small amounts right now. This is something that I could completely increase. I do a lot of pop-up trunk shows, all the way from Malibu to La Jolla. At the moment, I do it with a little more high-end income because when I travel, I want to make sure I can sell as much as I can. And,
Sure.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I do. What percentage of each garment are you sewing?
Well, I look at it, I go to Brazil, I get the fabrics, I pick the fabrics, so that's already like a big part of it. I'm always changing out the fabric, so I get that. I do the cutting. We only have a very basic cut right now. It's just pretty much the legs. We do the cuts, the 2 legs. Coco does the elastic band. She does like the difficult parts that I can't do.
Okay.
And then I just help, she's been teaching stitching on the legs, the easy part, but she does the band, that part. I don't know how to do that. I'm learning that. And then I do all this stuff. The cutting out of all the, this is easy, these can get these and sewing these on. And then the other with the painting. We've been doing a lot of the painting. Another one we're going to do also because I can do a lot of paints and stuff. It's just painting directly on the garment. So very basic things like a flamingo or a.
And you're doing that?
I'm doing that.
Anybody else have any questions?
Well, first of all, I have to congratulate you on having a correct label. A lot of vendors come and they don't even put their labels.
Yeah, we're big into labels.
So I really appreciate that. I'd like to see a little bit more enhancement, like handmade fabric from Brazil to make it even more special. So we can say it is handmade.
Handmade, you'd like to see.
Well, a fabric from Brazil.
Yeah, I can't make the fabric, but I.
No, I mean on your label, this is on your label, to enhance your label, to make it even more special.
I can make a label.
Fabric from Brazil, handmade in Redondo Beach.
Yeah, that would be very helpful to you.
I can do any kind of a label that says all of that.
Yeah, you should show it off because it's really unique stuff.
Yeah, and we're also going to be putting the logo on the leg. That's another thing. We don't have the
very
logo.
nice.
We currently, I'm actually going to be we have like a machine and hand embroider at the bottom. So,
Cool.
and I'm also going to be doing some with silver because on the printed ones you won't see the hand embroidery as much.
Right.
Like we also have like brighter colors and things like, tropical desert flowers and.
Okay, anybody else?
How come on your website you don't mention that these are like handmade by you? It seems that that would be something that you'd want to promote out there, but your website doesn't state that.
Because when we started off, I wasn't doing a lot of that. A lot of the things were just being made. But we've been doing a lot more of the hand. Our website is very, unfortunately, still not really, it's kind of outdated. There's a lot of things on there that we don't have. I haven't even updated things that I've written about myself, because we don't do a lot of sales online at the moment, because I'm always doing the trunk shows everywhere. So I need to do all that. I have to write those things on. We don't even have things like this on the website that shows the hand stitching, the hand painting. So that has to be updated on there. You know, that says the hand painted, handmade.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept this vendor.
Second?
I'll second.
Discussion.
Well, I see the labels on the inside, but I'm not feeling that confident about who is actually making them, and it seems kind of similar to maybe even to the cork that just came before us. I'm not feeling 100% confident, so my own self, I can't for sure say, and I'm just putting
I would
my
like a little
opinion
bit more
out there.
percentage. I would like to see a little bit more percentage of her doing it.
Right. The criteria that we have, so you understand, is it needs to be 75%
Right.
handmade. So what we're discussing, what we're debating is what we were seeing equivalent to 75% handmade, or is it something that somebody just sewed a heart onto? Is
Right,
that-
I understand that.
And we go through this soul searching all the time, but
I know.
I want to hear what
Well, I have
the
a-
others have to say.
The other solution, the name of your sewer was? The name
Coco.
of your sewer?
Coco.
Coco. Can Coco come with you and be there in the booth with you?
I guess.
Because that would be a solution,
That's-
that
I can have Coco
she's an
come there.
artist and she's
Yeah.
a designer. Again, I'm just throwing that out as a,
Right, because
I know we have vendors that mothers
Right,
and sisters
because
and things and daughters. and
we
they make
ju-
it.
I could do that.
the only reason we mention that is, I don't mean to compare your art to somebody else today, but we just had the exact same situation where we had somebody importing products who didn't make them, didn't design them, and she didn't say, she just didn't. She is an importer, and the stuff is gorgeous, but she didn't make it.
Right.
So what we're trying to do with Village Fest is encourage artists and designers and talented people like yourself, because I saw the picture with all the things of thread and all that impressed me, to display their wares. So that's where we are. Now, if you said to us, oh, well, Coco helps me, I do most of the stuff, but you very honestly.
She has more experience sewing than I am, so I
Right,
haven't learned
right.
all of it, but that's what she's done for.
I get it, I'm not a
30
good
years,
sewer
40
either.
now, So I just want to make sure I'm doing it right. but that's-
Exactly.
But I've been expanding on it, that's another thing, because I've
Yeah.
been wanting to be more creative. I've been branching out already with my fabrics, because there are so many active wear
Okay.
companies now, since when I started, that I'm trying to really be different. And that's why all the girls keep buying from me, because everything is different
Right.
from the Lululemon and, all those kind of things.
So my question to my committee members is,
Well,
do you
if-
have a comfort factor with this based
Well,
on what he
If
said?
the other person is there,
Hmm?
if the Coco, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if Coco
and
were
she's
there,
expanding it more and more, so.
right, until you get to the point where you come back to us and say, I'm doing the majority of it now. Coco may sew the elastic band, but I'm doing the designs and the
Right.
hems and whatever else.
I can do that. I mean, it's not going to take me long to get to where I'm going, and I'm really experimenting right now with the
Right,
prints and-
because we would
and doing-
love to have the stuff at Village Fest, but it has to comport with our rules, which is 75% handmade and have the artist there.
Could Coco come with,
Of course.
But if Coco did it together, then would it be, then are we in?
Oh, we have to
If I
vote.
say, Coco, can you come with me to the booth?
We have to vote on it.
We have to vote on it.
I would like Coco to come in and talk to us about how she works on the pieces as well then, because,
I think we need to talk to Coco.
I think that we would have to have the other person come before us,
I would feel
and
more
not just-
comfortable.
And I'd like to
That's
see,
fine too, and then by then, then I can have more of the tops, I can show you more things.
right, and the
that I
hand-painted
progress
part,
with,
because that's
The
part,
painting stuff.
Right.
yeah.
Would you be amenable to that?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, then I think what we need to do is,
Inspire me to.
we cannot vote on it today.
I would also like to maybe encourage the board to ask the applicant for further detailed photos. Maybe
Yeah.
start with the very rawest of products and have photos, a series of photos taken.
Right, how you sew the laying and the, yes,
Things like that, okay.
right.
if you can do it in a video too, that's fine.
Yeah.
The
and
video
I
is fine.
mean, obviously, a video is number, first
Right.
option.
I mean, I like the
for us.
product.
So if and when you are ready to do that, just let staff know and we'll bring you right back in here.
I could bring hope, but I mean, in another month, or, I might be able to do most of it, like more than the percentage I'm doing now. So we can see kind of, I'll check in with you, and we can see where I'm
Thank you.
at and how much I'm actually doing, and I'll do the photos and.
That would be very
And I'll bring-
appropriate.
And I'll bring the other
And we're
side
trying
as well.
here.
Right, right.
See everything, because it would be great even for summer, 'cause I can.
Oh, I think it'd be great for summer.
And I know there aren't that many people, at least if we're kids, it's like a ghost town, but I know
Yeah, I
that
know.
people still go to the village, right?
They do, even when it's
missing
110 in the
It's
shade.
too hot in the day, so everybody comes out in the night, like vampires.
So let's table this then, and invite her back when you are ready to.
And when is your next?
We meet every 2 weeks, so we'll slide you right in.
Okay, perfect.
We're just like
I'll
the
just do that
doctor.
3-hour drive,
We'll
get
get
a
you
3-hour
in.
back.
Right.
We
Okay.
don't get with Stan.
Thank you very much for coming. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
I like it.
Where's Caitlin?
Oh, sorry.
Hi, Caitlin. This is Indigo Auto Group. It's a commercial vendor. Caitlin Boone. Display vehicle. I always like the display
Yeah,
vehicle.
huh.
thing.
I think that's a nice.
Hi,
Hi
I'm
there.
Caitlin Boone. I'm the Marketing and Events Director at the Indigo Auto Group, also known as Desert European Motor Cars. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So our goal as being a vendor would to be for advertising purposes and marketing purposes to have our Audi vehicles on display. So for those of you that don't know, we are a franchisee of Audi. Audi is the manufacturer. We have a beautiful 10x10 booth that we've used in the past at events. It has a beautiful monitor on the inside as well that we have our state-of-the-art configurator. Guests and attendees of Villagefest can come up to the configurator, build their own car. We have iPads, could be a little bit more interactive. So we'd love to be a part of it. Most of our business comes from Rancho Mirage and Palm Desert in the winter season. So we love to kind of reach out and really touch the Palm Springs community. We haven't really done so in the past, and we think that it would be a great opportunity for us to do so in the summer when more of our local full-time residents are in town.
And you would bring a vehicle with you each
Yes,
time?
1 to 2 vehicles, whatever the space would allow.
Yeah, okay.
It's not often we get applications where it says $40,000 to $100,000
We could bring a lower end one
No,
in
no,
the
yeah.
40,000 to up to 100. That way it just has some diversity.
They're great dealerships, just if you go in for the snacks.
Sure.
That way. Usually it's like $4.
Yeah, they have breakfast snacks.
Oh, really? Well, you know what Jessica
Well,
said.
Where's your dealership located?
Highway 111 and Rancho Mirage. So we have Bentley, Aston, Rolls
Yeah,
Royce,
it's gorgeous.
Audi. We just acquired BMW of Palm Springs.
You did?
Yes, we just acquired them.
BMW of Palm Springs. I
BMW
didn't
of
know
Palm
that.
Springs.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to keep on growing.
Ah, that's
but
beautiful.
you're just gonna do Audi?
Just Audi.
I don't mind if they did others, would you?
No, not at all.
No.
And this
My-
Rolls
You want to
Royce,
bring a Rolls
It's
Royce,
a-
we are good.
Yeah, bring one.
I'd like to see one up
And
close.
people would love that.
Yeah, it's as close as I'm going to get to one. Do we have room for a couple cars? We'll make room. I think we should make room.
Especially during the summer.
Right. If you can stick one in Costco, we can stick one in the middle of Palm Canyon Drive.
I just have a real quick question. Do you have 2 children that attend Palm Springs Summer Camp?
I don't have any children.
She looks like one of the mothers.
Are you sure?
And
Yes.
This lady works, I think, for Mercedes.
Oh.
And you
Okay.
look like, especially the shoes.
Oh.
Does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Indigo Auto Group, Audio Rancho Mirage.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion?
No, it's great.
Hearing none, I'm going to call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It carries.
Great.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing the pretty car.
Thank you. We're excited, thanks.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Jeremy Russell is an entertainment
30 years ago.
singer. You're not going to go with him? I don't know, can you sing?
That's my trusty assistant.
All right.
I sing at least 75% of all my lyrics. Do you make 75% of your cars by hand? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I heard you today
You did? Where? On the radio?
On the internet, no.
Oh, good, very
Computer,
good.
yes.
We heard it.
Because if it was on the radio, then I need to be getting some checks from someone.
And
Very
he's a
soon.
comedian too, so we got it.
That's right. So what can I do for you?
So,
Do some carooning.
do some carooning, yeah. Do you use instrumental, any instruments?
Well, I was told by this lovely lady here that the video that I submitted, I'm sort of out of character. I'm sort of halfway in character right now.
Yeah, you're dressed different than you were
Yeah.
on my computer.
It's Palm Springs, we've seen it all.
Fair
No,
enough.
we've
Um,
listened to the,
Just tell us a
to the
little
tape.
bit about, what you do and what your interests
Yeah.
are. And
How'd you get into
for
this?
people like me that didn't open the email today. Thank you.
Oh my, Joy Brown.
Hi.
Well, a somewhat long story cut somewhat short. My great-grandmother was an actress in New York. She started in old radio with Orson Welles and did work with Burgess Meredith and on and on and on. So she was on stage and Broadway for 40 years, but she doesn't have the name recognition because she wasn't so much in film and television, but she's worked with everyone. She's since passed. And her name was Ruth Russell, and I have a photo on my phone of her participating in Grease with Patrick Swayze. But that's a little bit about where I come from. My father wanted to be a concert pianist, and set that aside round about the time of the Vietnam War, when he auditioned for a university and was not accepted for the scholarship he was seeking. And so I'm just sort of pursuing what I've always known was inside and what I've always wanted to do, and to sort of carry on maybe the legacy that he left off. And my great-grandmother was on my mother's side, so there's a couple of genetic lines there that are ready to be creative in me. So
How often do you plan to show up?
I was hoping 7 days a week.
That'd be a
I got to pay rent somehow. No, I'm not sure. I saw that there was a window. There were 2 windows of time during the year. I do like to perform in a suit, so I don't know how being in a suit in 110 degrees will go yet.
I think you need to rethink your brand.
Exactly.
Ask a police officer how
Yeah.
he feels about that.
Exactly.
Right.
And I'm not carrying 60 pounds of gear, so
Yeah, there you
I would.
That's what I was thinking, tuxedo shirt.
Set up your
What was that?
Yeah.
Tuxedo shirt and what?
Black pants.
Black tie.
Maybe so.
bow
Yeah.
tie that's
Yeah,
not
that's
tied,
all.
just
If not, you're gonna sweat and sweat and sweat.
A t-shirt that has a tie.
In a.
Yeah, we're really changing your brand to something else, aren't we?
See, I don't. I thought this was a. Okay. No,
comedian somewhere. You're an actor. You're an actor.
Well, I did do 3 years of improvisational comedy in the Los Angeles area. You will probably see me on HBO this September in a show called Curb Your Enthusiasm as well. And on a show on BET sometime this year called The Comedy Get Down. So,
Where else do you sing? Here in the desert, Jeremy?
nowhere yet.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So-
maybe our first applicant can help you
Exactly.
with that, because
I-
It'll be a first.
I know.
I auditioned once at a little joint that is now defunct. I don't think I closed them down. It was called the Congo Room, and it went just about as fast as it came in the Caliente Tropics Hotel. But I did introduce myself to the new owner a couple of nights ago, and was hoping I would have been in a suit if he had said that perhaps I could come and audition for him tonight. So kind of killing two birds. Not that I'm not killing any birds, but do two things at once. But I was in Burbank last night singing on the street. I was in Santa Monica on Friday night for Cinco de Mayo. I go where the summer wind takes me.
Are you going to ask for donations and selling a CD at all?
I didn't pay him to laugh this much at my jokes. He's my housemate, and well, if tips are allowed, yes. I don't have any sort of recorded, digitized media at this point, but if tips are allowed, then.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Somebody make a motion?
I'll make a
Somebody.
motion to accept this entertainer at Village Fest.
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yeah, I really didn't get a chance to listen, so can you tell me?
Yeah, he can sing.
Can we just-
Does the AV guy have the?
Like Frank Sinatra style.
No, it's okay, we got it. They're all vouching for you, so that's all I needed to hear.
Thank you.
Okay.
All in favor? Jasmine?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, unanimous. Just a
Okay.
question, would he go on the rotating? Yes.
Gonna rotate.
Maybe
I
some
didn't get to vote.
entertainment on the north end could even be helpful.
I'll do these rounded out right here, on the north end already.
Can we do some sort of a schedule thing where maybe village? Yeah.
It's been a while since I've tried.
I'll take the north end, south end, side end.
He'll take anything. He'll take
Okay.
Got it.
We'll see you on the street.
Cheers. Thank you all.
I feel it was something.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Feel like
You're
Judge
very
Judy.
entertaining already.
Okay. Did you
That
have
was
something
it.
to add?
Boy, it must be summer coming up. huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfinished business, rules and regulations.
I had asked for them to just provide me notification when it
Right.
is going to be on the agenda, so that I didn't have to continue to tell you guys when it is not going to be on the agenda.
Well, thank you.
Okay, good.
So I will,
kinda
obviously, as soon
figured.
as we have the final agenda, city council agenda, and it's listed on there, I will send an email so that everyone knows. Of the board meeting.
Okay, thank
So are we
you.
kind of working on, when we're dealing with people now, are we going by the old rules and regulations, or are we going by the new ones that we
You know, I don't
worked
think
on?
we can
and-
officially, the new rules and regulations do not officially exist.
Yeah.
Correct.
So are we following the old ones suitably
pretty
though?
much.
Because honestly, I'm a little
Like,
confused.
I know, and it's a really difficult time because you're this close, I mean,
Yeah.
really, council just, I mean, they've even reviewed it, and they've made one correction to it. So, I mean, you obviously know that they're okay with the new rules and regulations, but you cannot function under those until they've been officially approved by city council.
Okay. Thank you for following up for us with that. The Amato entrance, new business.
So that is in, we have not blown it up yet, but we are gonna take it to the city yard, and we will inflate it, and then we will work with our facilities department on some lighting options. Obviously, it's gotta be pretty efficient and effective on the street, so that we're gonna work with them to make sure we have something out there. Also, we'll let you know as soon as we have a test run with it out there on the street.
Ooh, that'll be fun. Okay.
Can we talk briefly about the one speaker we had about doing something more at the north end?
Yes, I
We should
want to get
agendize
down.
that.
Right.
I want to get to that when we speak again, comments, because Joy was not here when he was talking about that.
Right,
I
and
know
I do
what he's
want to make
talking
sure,
about.
I do want to make sure it's on the agenda, that we're going to hold an in-depth discussion about it, which is fine. Joy did mention it, she sent an email, and we were unable to get it on this agenda, so we will make sure that it is officially on your next agenda.
Okay, would you prefer that we not discuss it then at all
If
today?
you want to briefly discuss it, that's okay, but if we're going to have an in-depth discussion, I do want it on the
Right,
agenda.
I don't see any need to do it twice. He mentioned that he'd like to have some activity on the other side of the food court, and we need to have a discussion about that.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we did. Okay. public comments, reports and requests from the public? I don't see any. And board comments.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify something in regards to the discussion about the CBD products. So when we were discussing it, I made it very clear that I wanted the city to be the ones that ruled as to whether or not CBD would be allowed. They said at first that it wasn't going to be, and then they reversed that decision and said that it was. But I want to say that I feel that because I actually voted that if the city said it's okay with me, that wasn't a conflict of interest. Somebody has mentioned to me that maybe it was, but how could it be a conflict if I supported it?
Right.
So
I don't think that it could be.
I just want to say that I feel that I was very gentle in how I dealt with that so that my own interest did not have any bearing on what my vote was.
You were very transparent.
And
Yeah, you're
thank you.
transparent. Okay.
And I had to contact the city several times to ask them to please,
I know.
make their opinion here, an attorney, the police, the city manager, whoever, way above my pay grade though. So I didn't feel that was a decision that we should make as a board, nor I as a board member.
I
and
think
also
we
a
agreed with that,
dispensary
did we
owner.
not?
Right.
Yeah, I just want to make that clear because
thank
somebody
you.
has said
Has
something
that vendor
different. to that.
started selling on the street?
Correct.
He has started?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Any other
Thank
board
you.
comments?
I-
Yes.
I know we don't talk about it very much, but I was going through some things this afternoon, and I came across the preliminary budget for fiscal year 17-18, and pass this out. Under the detail, the proposed budget is $505,000, which is a nice increase from the previous year. Our revenue for the fiscal year 6-17 budget was $504,000, and they're projecting it to be $493. Estimated beginning cash balance available was almost $100,000, so I think we've done some great inroads. And I want to thank particularly Vicki and Jasmine for working on the budget, because they get involved. We talked to David Reddy at times, and we went through past city clerk about money and so forth, but I thought this was really good to see.
So is Village Fest self-supporting?
Yes.
That's all I care.
And then the other one part was the dollars for phase one plaza.
Mhm.
It's a $300,000 budget.
I know, I saw that.
Why are they so expensive? Terrorists.
So I
It's all
just thought
about
it was,
terrorists.
it's something that we don't really talk about, and something I think we should give everyone a round of applause for a great year.
Yeah, it was a good year,
Good
and I
job,
thank
staff.
staff. Speaking of,
And the positive comments that we've had.
speaking of bollards, and on a not so pleasant note, there have been discussions in other cities about the possibility of some person who doesn't have all his or her marbles driving into crowds, as has happened in other countries. And my concern is, and always will be, where people come and do the U-turn. How safe are we?
So I'm not sure if you noticed, but in recent months, we have transitioned from the actual A-frames connected by caution tape in that area, and we do have water barricades that are located on the La Plaza Loop.
Okay.
And that was made, that change was made with the unfortunate situations that occurred previously in other, events around the world. And that was a precautionary measure that the city took to add those. As you can also see on this, on the third page, I believe, you will also see that there is a phase 2 of bollards. So there is phase 1 of bollards that are anticipated to go into the La Plaza Loop to replace the water barricades that we currently have there.
Right.
And then there's a phase 2, which will cover all of the other locations, major entrances and exits for Village Fest. So the city has definitely taken a really proactive stance in trying to secure Village Fest in a manner that will secure it from anything that could be intentional and or by accident.
By accident, it could be an accident. So I just want to make sure we're doing our due diligence as we see what's happening in other places where there are Christmas fairs and street
Right.
fairs and other activities, and it sounds like we are. I feel better about that. Because when we first started going down this road, no pun intended, we didn't have a whole lot of protection
Right.
if, God forbid, something accidentally happened. But now we've had all these other intentional incidents, and it just made me a little uncomfortable.
What budget does it come out of?
That's a very good question, I'm not sure.
I think we don't want to know the answer to
Find
that.
out for you.
As long as it's not ours. Probably
'Cause,
Public
I mean,
Works.
really, $1,800,000 for 3 sets of bollards just sounds like an extreme amount of money.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4. There'd be 4 streets that would be covered. It'd be all the other areas with the exception of a motto where we currently
Oh,
have
I see,
bollards.
I see.
So it's a whole,
Yeah, especially, I think,
Program.
I'm sure with Palm Canyon, once the new development set up, those streets are going to have to be
Right.
blocked off.
Mhm.
Ballards for that, or if we're going to be using them, they're going to have ends blocked off. So
Yeah, that's expensive
I just think
stuff.
it's great that the city's
Yeah.
listened to village
Yeah.
council
Sure.
in regards to safety.
yeah, I really commend the city for being proactive on that. Very pleased. Thank you. Anybody else have any comments? Okay. Subcommittee reports, Village Fest 2017 poster.
The poster is with the printer.
Okay.
You should be receiving
Ooh.
anything now.
Exciting, thank you. Anything else about the poster? Okay. Getting to know your community, that's our summer program to invite nonprofits and educational institutions to come and exhibit.
Joy and I have not had a meeting yet.
It's okay.
I want to do some preliminary things before we actually have a meeting. What I'm passing out is, there are 9 organizations, and I'm putting it as the additional Greater Palm Springs organization because last year it was primarily Palm Springs, but we have a lot of things that are in the Cathedral City and Palm Desert, and it is Greater Palm Springs, so I
fine.
feel it's important that we add some of the,
So these are ads, this is
would
not
be an
just.
ad to the list.
Okay, I think that's fine.
I don't have a list of last year's, Faith, do you have a list of last
Somebody
year's?
has it.
Okay. I have my hand copy, so I'll type
I
it.
can check my files. I feel like I do, but let me check my files.
Okay, 'cause
for
there's a
that.
lot of work. All the others. And then I want to thank Mike for last year. He had a press release that never really got out, but I think we can use that again.
Sure.
And I have a copy of the initial letter that went to the organizations. I did have a question for staff in regards to tables. I know there was an issue with tables. Can we still offer tables or like the first 10 who sign up?
Why don't we, when you enjoy, have a meeting, either Faith or I or Ken, and we
Okay.
can kind of explain the circumstances that we ended up in and see if we can come to a common solution, to, maybe possibly help out the first 5 vendors that set the sign up, and that would be incentive to sign up, early. But we would like to maybe discuss some of the obstacles that we had from a staff perspective, to see if we could alleviate those heading into the second business program.
Yeah,
Why didn't people bring their own table?
Well, I don't want to do anything that's going to create extra staff work for something that we're offering to the public for free. I can't tell you, my activist days, I've schlepped around an ironing board with a tablecloth all over town, saving the world. So if they can do it, if I can do it, they can do it. But that's up to you guys.
I know the new organizations. I was at the Sunrise Park when they were having
Mhm.
an expo, and they all had their tables and tablecloths.
Yeah, but that's entirely up to the committee. I know you guys can work it out.
I'm interested to hear.
Right.
Apparently, there's a story.
Okay,
We have to attend the next.
thank
Thank
you. Village Fest, a smoke-free event.
Okay, so I have passed around.
I got it.
Passed around
We all got 'em.
information. The committee is scheduled to hold a meeting tomorrow evening, just to briefly go over some details. I was gonna see if, from a staff perspective, I'm sure you've noticed that our meetings are, it's the time of year where we have less vendors applying for Village Fest. Staff would like the board to consider maybe not holding your next formal meeting and holding a meeting for this particular committee, because I do know that there is some public that would like to attend. But I do know that you also want to review some of this information before you hold a public meeting. So I would consider, I'd like the board to consider not holding your next formal meeting, your regular scheduled meeting, and holding a public study session.
This is the first time I've heard about there's public wanting us to have a public meeting on this. I'm not ready to do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, it's a couple weeks out. If you don't hold your next meeting, which would be the end of May, then sometime in that week, we can then hold a study session for the public to attend to review some of these items. And it would give us a couple weeks to sort through the information I've provided you, and also for you to hold your meeting.
Let me tell you what my concern is, and then the rest of you guys can speak for yourselves. We haven't discussed, we'll do that tomorrow, of course, where we are on this. And I personally don't think we need to have a public study session if there's not a problem. If there is a problem, then of course we do. Of course we do. And that needs to be vetted a little bit more when we meet tomorrow and get your input, of course. But I don't want to jump over anything that staff is planning to do. This is the first time I've heard about a public workshop, or what did you call it?
Just a public study session. So it would be something where we would post an agenda and the public can attend and speak at your meeting on any of the particular issues, on the issues that.
On that particular
But
issue.
they already can, right? I mean, it's like they would speak in public comments. They wouldn't be.
Right,
So-
I don't understand why we,
Hold any back and forth, is the thing.
No.
Really, at a public meeting such as
Yeah.
this, they can come and speak during public comments, but there cannot be any, roundtable discussion
Right.
about these particular things.
and all I'm saying is, I think that's step 3, and we're at step 1. And until we get to step 2, I don't want to move forward on any step 3, because we may never get to step 3.
So, but after the meeting tomorrow, I guess we'll.
I think
see
we'll
how
have
we feel
consensus,
about
then
that
what
then.
I think I would love to do is bring that to our full board, and then we take a vote on how we move forward. We have some options
We would like to do that.
at the next meeting.
Okay, so you don't want, okay, why don't we just hold our meeting tomorrow, and then we can further discuss
Okay.
if there needs to be.
Right,
I
right.
think after your meeting tomorrow, our next meeting could be an open study group.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but it wouldn't be a
No.
regular scheduled meeting.
No,
It
no.
would have to be a meeting with this particular
Yeah.
item that the board
Well,
will discuss it.
at the next meeting, I'm going to ask for a vote and consensus from this board on whether or not we should move forward with this at all. And if the answer is yes, then we schedule our session and invite for June or whenever. If the answer is no, that's entirely up to the Department of Recreation to make a suggestion to us or recommendation. So I don't want to jump over any of the process. I want to make sure it's totally vetted and transparent.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Our next board meeting, it will be on the agenda for discussion.
Mm-hmm. Right, and a vote.
We'll see.
Because you're going to advise the board what your findings are.
Right, because I don't want to make an assumption, and I don't want anybody else to make an assumption that we're going to go one way or another way.
I just want to thank you, Jeff, because I just really.
This is
read
very,
this.
very,
Oh, no,
very helpful.
This was information, some of it was information that was provided to me, and some of it was some research
Interesting.
that I did on my end.
Oh.
So I did want to see, all of this is stuff that's relevant to us.
Yeah.
I did receive a lot of information. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Oh, great, thank you.
So I sorted through the things that were extremely relevant to
Okay.
Village Fest. And then I had a couple of other municipalities that I work with and asked if they worked with providing
Okay.
information.
And I would appreciate it if our subcommittee would please read this in detail before our meeting tomorrow, so we don't have to waste time on it.
Can I just say one other thing about it? I do want to say, though, that no matter how this part of it turns out, I really hope that if there's a problem with any vendors smoking at their booth bothering a neighboring vendor, that I hope that we could take some sort of action. I don't even know if that is a problem, but it would be a drag if you're sensitive to smoke and you have somebody right in the booth next to you
Well,
smoking.
that's very, very simple to fix. We just put it in the agreement that smoking is prohibited.
Oh, you mean in the rules and regulations?
And the rules and,
yeah,
no.
you know what you're saying,
Well, in the rules and
right?
regulations, but you can put it in there, the agreement that they signed.
Yeah,
But this, to me, this is much bigger than just
yes,
vendors.
it is.
So it requires some thought. So anyway, I'm going to read this in detail. Okay. Main Street comments.
Nothing. I mean, I have been talking to Jasmine about some merchants on the north end and their interest to that space there, and we'll continue to discuss that further.
We're going to put it on the agenda for next time.
Maybe.
Maybe, maybe not. Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, really,
They're all
it's,
happy.
it's all good now. Everybody is comfortable and,
Really good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the shops.
It's starting
Yeah, everything's coming back together again, so.
Staff reports.
We have none.
Oh, okay. And in that case, do I have a motion to adjourn? Anybody want, this is
I'll make
awful.
a motion to adjourn the meeting
Uh,
at 4:46.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned at 4:46, Mr. AV person. Right.
Oh, I'll
Who are you
second
with,
that.
Projection? Which company are you with? Oh, you're one of, I thought you were with the convention center. Oh, I didn't recognize.